Welcome to a special travel vlog about hiking in Patagonia in the tiny town of El Chaltén, Argentina, where we're conquering not only massive mountains and crazy Patagonian winds, but also hopefully crushing personal milestones and dealing with chronic health challenges. We're about to show you some amazing views, but also one of the hardest things we have ever done. To get to El Chalten, we flew into El Calafate, where we witnessed the most stunning but alarming examples of our changing planet, giant chunks of ice breaking off Patagonian glaciers. We then took a bus from El Calafate to El Chalten. The 2-hour ride had no shortage of insane views and glimpses of wildlife, like this herd of guanacos, the ancestor to the llama. El Chaltén is a small town of about 2,000 people, and it's known as Argentina's hiking capital for many incredible trails and mountain views. The mountains and trails fall within the bounds of Glacier National Park, which started charging hikers admission fees this year, though it was met with resistance from locals, and the fee was lifted for the winter season this May through September. So we saved about $160 for the week-long pass here, which was nice, but also important to note that a lot of the town shuts down and closes for the winter due to it being low season. We stayed at Rancho Grande Hostel, which has a super convenient 24-hour restaurant and shared kitchen where we could prepare our own meals. We're on a strict budget, so we booked 2 beds in a shared dorm room for $16 each per night. We snacked on some empanadas at the bakery next door and geared up for our first hike. This is gonna be our first hike here in El Chalten, so it'll give us a taste of what the big one is gonna be like, which is the Laguna de los Tres hike to Fitz Roy. That is the 8-hour round trip hike of about 20 to 25 kilometers. That's going to be an intense one, and in this weather especially so. It's already getting chillier. We're at May 13th today. It is already the winter season. The weather's gonna it's gonna do its thing, and
Mother Nature got its own plan, so we're just gonna try to make the adjustments.
We're just gonna go with it and see what this looks like. I hope we survive.
We'll survive, and it's gonna be one of those meditation, therapeutic kind of hikes.
Yeah, when the wind is blowing in your face and it just feels like sharp pins. Yeah,
we signed ourselves up for this, so you can't be.
We are willingly, happily going into this. Wish us luck. The trail to Mirador de los Cóndores is 2.5 kilometers with about 400 feet in elevation gain, and most people take about an hour round trip. So we figured we'd start with an easy trail for our first day.
I want to tell you all a little bit about my personal journey with chronic illness and healing, because it's been a long road. It's a big motivation for coming to Patagonia and embarking on this grand adventure. But I need to give you a little bit of context first, especially if you aren't familiar with our videos and anything that I've talked about before. So some of you may know that I have fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain and fatigue condition. And it's more than just like, ow, my body hurts and oh, I'm tired. I was diagnosed with it more than 6 years ago now. And it completely changed my life. I went from I had some neck aches and then my back aches, and the pain just kept moving and it kept getting worse. It took a year to get a diagnosis from a rheumatologist, who then told me that I had fibromyalgia, and there's no real set treatment. There's no cure. It's pain in the body. The brain is producing pain. It's stuck in a pain cycle, and treatment has just been a lot of trial and error ever since. And living in pain has been quite unbearable. I stopped dancing for a long time. I couldn't get out of bed many days. It came with depression. I had undiagnosed post-traumatic stress disorder, which I took care of. And then over the years, I made strides. Whew, this elevation is delicious. Kevin just realized that he dropped the glove, so he ran back to go look for it. But I'll continue. So I made some big strides towards mental health healing, and it's been up and down since then, because every time that I have a fibromyalgia flare-up, my pain goes through several days of intense pain. And mentally, it gets me really down as well. So I get very frustrated, very upset. I feel like I can't move forward with my life. There was a time where I felt like I was overreacting, or like I was making my pain a bigger deal than it really was. But the biggest validation I got, I think, was when a doctor told me that my symptoms were real. They're not made up like lots of doctors used to think. and that my symptoms were more in line with someone who's of old age and near the end of their lives. I'm 31 years old and I started with chronic pain at the age of 24, 25. And I never imagined that I would be hiking in Patagonia. I lost so much physical strength from being afraid to move. Every time I did any sort of physical activity, my body would hurt more, which is why I stopped dancing. And the doctors all say the same thing. They say, you have to be active, you have to walk. I would get 3,000 or 4,000 steps in a day and my legs would ache. Did you find your glove?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And I was like, my ankles hurt, my shins hurt so much. If with only 4,000 or 5,000 steps, how am I supposed to dance again? How am I supposed to enjoy my life? And it's been a long journey. I won't go into the specifics of what I did, but if you are interested in hearing more about that, let me know in the comments and maybe we can make another video talking specifically about how I've regained the physical condition to be able to do these intense hikes in Patagonia that we're currently doing. So let me know if that's interesting to you and you'd like to hear about that. But fast forward to answering kind of the question you asked earlier, like, why are we doing this? Well, number one, it's because I want to see these like legendary landscapes of a part of the world that exists nowhere else, that sounds like it's from another planet. And we've been very blessed to see lots of cool parts of the world, but this one is just so legendary. I was like, I have to hike that with my own 2 feet. I have to see it with my own 2 eyes. And to be here is so surreal, to once again regain the kind of physical condition that I had from before my diagnosis. It's insane. So tomorrow's hike is gonna be the biggest test of them all. It's the 8-hour, 25-kilometer hike, Laguna de los Tres. And I'm really nervous, but I'm excited to give it a shot. Thanks for listening to my story and stick around to see if we make it through that one. We made it to Mirador de los Cóndores. Wow. Wow. What a gorgeous view of the town from here.
Like how seeing how much steak we ate in Brazil and they decided to run away.
Good morning. Today's the day. We're ready for that big hike to...
I don't know where we're going still. I still don't know where we're going. I just know we're going for a 4-hour trail walk.
It's 8 hours, there and back.
It's about 15 miles we're about to walk.
We're going to hike the Fitz Roy trail to Laguna de los Tres and hope we survive. We're dressed with a ton of layers. I've got at least 4 on the bottom if you count the knee brace that I'm wearing. We're wearing thermal fleeces, sweaters, jackets, an extra t-shirt around our face to block the wind because the wind in the morning is brutal. Wish us luck, you guys.
I want to reframe your comment. Hope we survive? No, we're gonna survive.
Okay, fine. I just hope we make it all the way. How about that?
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh.
It's 8:45 a.m. Sunrise is in about 30 minutes. Let's go. This is it. Don't get scared now. So, did we make it?
Right now, it's a time to place your bets in the comments whether we made it or not.
Okay, so let us tell you how it went. The first half hour or so was not so bad. It was a steady incline, and so we're off to a strong start. It was about 35 degrees Fahrenheit or about 2 degrees Celsius in the morning. The sunrise was still coming out. It was quite windy. It was about 12 miles per hour with an occasional wind gust, and the wind gusts were coming and going, so it wasn't too bad just yet. up until we got to the first Mirador Fitz Roy.
It took about an hour and a half, and I thought it was really tough, to be honest with you. The incline, just waking up and like, oh, it was rough.
And then we get there and we could not see Mount Fitzroy at all. And this is when we noticed that the wind was brutal. And I looked it up later and it was somewhere over 30 miles per hour wind gusts. And granted, we were wearing multiple layers. We had the plastic coverings that helps quite a bit. But when the wind hits your face,
oh, it burns.
That was tough. In retrospect, we should have turned around right there. But we were determined to keep going and see how far we could get. So we kept going.
I feel terrible because I still didn't know what I was looking for this whole time, so I was just keep going. Like maybe the skies will clear up and then we'll get lucky and be able to see it. But we went on our adventure to see the Fitzroy, and I was just excited, and that excitement and adrenaline kept me going.
When it first started snowing about an hour into the hike, at first it was pretty and it was exciting.
I felt like you were in Narnia.
But then it started snowing heavier and the trails started to get harder to see and it started to disappear. So that's where it gets a little dangerous, because once you lose the trail, if you get lost, there's no one really out there to come help you.
Luckily, though, before heading out to the hike, I downloaded the All Trails app, and I also got the 7-day free trial.
For the pro version.
It gave us the downloaded map. So once we saw we were on the right track, we kept going, and that did help a lot until somewhere later where it started failing on us.
So 3 hours into the hike, 1 hour left to go, we reached one of the most critical points of the hike, and that is the picnic point where there is this warning sign that tells you that you must have really good physical condition to proceed, that you should avoid when there is wind, rain, snow, or ice, which we had all of the above.
And there was also these two European guys that were like, don't do it. It's really bad up there. Don't do it. We looked at each other for 5 seconds.
We're like, okay, maybe this is as far as we go. Okay, I'll be satisfied. But then we thought, what if we don't do this again? What if
this is our only chance?
What if this is our only chance? So we went for it. This next hour was the hardest part.
It's the last kilometer.
Climbing
it's
rocks.
Excruciating.
And on snow and ice, it is actually quite dangerous, especially with those 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts. You could lose your balance very easily. So we went up as high as we could. I started gassing out right around this point because we hadn't eaten any of our snacks yet. We were waiting until we got up there.
Quick little banana break, 4,000 feet above sea level.
I was starting to lose energy, starting to lose my breath. Kevin was going up ahead, and I was like cursing him out for leaving me so far behind. Look at him leaving me behind.
Let's go!
We're almost there.
Almost there!
We're almost there!
My adrenaline was pumping, and I felt good, I felt like I just kept going and going.
Didn't care that I was all the way back.
I had the
So we get to a certain point, and almost at the top, we think we can see the top, but it's really hard to tell at this point because the higher we get, the less visibility there is. And we're looking at the top, and we're like, we still don't see Fitzroy, and we should absolutely be able to by now. And we reach a point where like
you couldn't see it.
It's no longer safe to keep going. So we were probably less than 100 meters away when we decided to turn back.
And you couldn't see anything. Like every step that you would take, the snow would come up to our knees. So it was like, okay, I think this is it.
We said, this is as far as we can go, and we started to turn back. On our way back down, it started to clear up a little bit. We celebrated with some lunch, made some new friends.
Saw some beautiful wildlife.
Those are the new friends.
Oh.
And then on our way back, it started to clear up a little bit more. We still did not see the Fitzroy, but we were able to see that gorgeous glacier that we had no idea was right in front of us almost the entire time. And although it did start to clear up a little bit, the wind started picking up.
Pick up, yo.
We did it in 8 hours, there and back, and it is undoubtedly the hardest physical thing I have ever done.
Yeah, me too, and I don't know if I'll ever do it again.
Well, I think we should try. We talked about taking a few days rest and waiting for the snowstorms to pass. So we're staying in El Chaltén for at least about a week or so, waiting for a sunny day with little to no winds so that we can try again and actually see Laguna de los Tres.
Yeah, heck yeah. We came all this way out here. We're going to see Laguna de los Tres and enjoy it with some beautiful pictures and some beautiful weather. It's going to happen, all right?
The next day we took it easy with a shorter hike to Chorrillo del Salto, which was about an hour and a half to 2 hours slow there and back. The day after that, we did Laguna del Capri, which is about a 3-hour hike there and back. That one starts the same as the Fitz Roy, so there is that incline in the beginning, but we went on a sunny day and we actually saw the Fitz Roy. We're like, whoa, that's what it looks like, and it was amazing. We built a snowman and just enjoyed the lake and mentally started preparing to do Fitz Roy again. Staying here an entire week allowed us to experience these landscapes under different weather conditions, and we loved every moment of it, even the cold and windy ones. We did El Chorrillo del Salto a second time after it snowed and felt the magic of being inside a snow globe. The snow is great when you don't have to worry about shoveling it. Seriously, how pretty does this town look covered in snow? By the way, if you're heading to El Chaltén and like cheesy bread, make a stop at Panadería La de Haydee and have some chipas for us. We really miss those. We also did the Mirador de los Cóndores and actually saw wild condors this time. We went the extra kilometer and caught the sunset over Mirador de las Águilas and were reminded of the Patagonia jacket's logo. The last hike we did was to Cerro Torre viewpoint, which was just as stunning as Fitz Roy. This one took us about 4 hours round trip with some detours, and we saw some paw prints that we were secretly hoping were puma prints, but were more likely fox prints.
Good morning, y'all. This is the day. This is the day we actually make it to Laguna de los Tres. It is 5 days after the first attempt, and it is 10 degrees Fahrenheit colder today than it was the first time. But it's gonna be much better today because there's practically no wind. So that's already huge. And as you can see, clear skies, so we're gonna have great visibility today. Ready, babe?
Do this. Mwah.
We rented hiking sticks this time due to the increased ice and snow, and I must say, sunny skies and zero winds made this time a much more pleasant experience. We saw Fitz Roy only 75 minutes into the hike as opposed to not at all during the 8-hour hike last time. So this time, the cool combination of snow, blue skies, and massive rocky peaks had us more giddy than ever. This time, we felt unstoppable. Even when we got to the final and most challenging part, the steep 400-meter climb, it was slippery, but the sticks made a huge difference. And this is where we regret not having rented the crampons, the spiky thingies that you strap onto your shoes for better traction. But nothing else really mattered in this moment because we were finally going to make it to the lagoon.
Biggest physical accomplishment of my life. Wow.
Yay!
Oh my God, we made it. Wow.
It's frozen, but it's there. Yeah.
All right, baby, on a scale from 1 to 10, how hard was this?
It was easier this time than the first time around. No wind pushing me off to the sides. Oh, thank you for this accomplishment. For cheering me on.
We did it.
Yay.
Now I feel like the fish from Nemo. Now what?
Now we go down.
On the way down, we met 2 fresh out of high school Canadian kids camping out for the night.
You guys got a 5-course meal. You're not
And on the way back, we had to race against the clock to make it back before dark.
Hiking in Patagonia is a physical challenge for really just about anybody, but as somebody with chronic pain and chronic fatigue, I am celebrating quite extra because if you had asked me 4 or 5 years ago, or even 1 year ago, or even 6 months ago, if I thought I could do this, I would say, I really don't think so. I was waking up with pain. I had pain all over my body throughout the day for the last 5-6 years. And even 3 months ago, I was still waking up with pain in the mornings. And I don't know if it's
the adrenaline or just the excitement of being here that has kept me going. Only time will tell where I truly am in this healing journey, but the fact that we came and we conquered, and that yes, I'm tired, but I'm not feeling the usual fibromyalgia pain that I'm so used to feeling the last several years. I'm just like, oh my God, have I reversed my fibromyalgia? I don't know. Like I said, only time will tell. Right now, I'm just so full of dopamine and excitement to be here, and check back in with me in a few weeks and we'll see what it really looks like. But you guys, I'm just so emotional about having done all of this, because I really didn't think I would have my energy back. I went through a lot of episodes of depression because of feeling like I was losing my most energetic years. I was losing my youth to this illness. I've had doctors tell me that I have symptoms more aligned with someone who's near the end of their life versus in their first half. So to be here and to have accomplished this is so meaningful for me, and it's a beautiful gift of this earth that if you can experience being here, you don't even have to go all the way up to Fitz Roy. You can go to the Miradores and do half of these hikes and just experience the energy of being in this part of the world is such a gift. And I hope that you get to experience it too. If you plan on it or are thinking about it, want any tips, we can put together perhaps a separate video with those specific tips. But for now, I hope that you've enjoyed just hearing about this experience and how it went for us, and I hope you're motivated to explore these treasures in the world. Take care, se cuidan, se bañan y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao.